she has been desperate to do one for days, and last night we saw Jane finally take on a Bushtucker trial on I'm A Celeb.
OK, Jane, off you go.
Over to you.
Celeb twos.
Get away from me!
First star.
First star. Which number are you at?
8 and 9.
8 and 9, Maura, so move on.
Go number 8.
Yes, Jane, get it in your bag. Heels in with you, Jane.
B-O-A-T, board.
B-O. If 10 is underwater, forget it.
We all had a giggle there because she said A is 4, and we can't obviously say what she did say last night, but it was a very good trial. What did you make of Jane? How do you think she got on in it?
You know what, she got on exactly how I thought she got on. She's just cool, isn't she?
Yeah.
She just takes everything in her stride, and let me tell you that water is, well, like, her biggest fear. So when that trial came up, I thought, she's not going to be able to do this. But you know what? She got in, and she gave it her best shot, and yes, she did struggle with the underwater bits, but mainly because she couldn't see the codes. But I was so proud of her because she's just so cool. And you know what I love?
She didn't scream.
All Jane talked about was if she ever went in the jungle, she wants to go in and have the full experience. And so I kind of want everyone to just vote her to do trials.
Yeah, I
just
know.
so she comes out and she's really experienced it.
Absolutely, yeah, because it was Dean has done 6 trials now so far.
Has he really?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it is interesting. Like, should there be something? I know that is what the show is. We vote, we get what we voted for. But you do wonder whether there should be a mechanism if someone does so many trials. It's like the Matt Hancock effect as well. But you get to the point where you're like, I actually do want to see other people do stuff.
But isn't it what's wrong with us today? Like, we won't vote for someone to do a trial that does it in a wonderful, calm, collected and brave way like Jane Moore. We kind of want the scream and the pizzazz and the... You know, I mean, it's kind of like how we vote the politicians as well, you know. That's why you end up with Donald Trump, because you don't want someone who can actually run the country. You want someone who's going to keep you entertained, you know.
Yes, we're voting for I'm A Celeb the way we vote for our presidents. It is interesting, though, because I liked the mix last night. I liked seeing Maura, and she really struggled with the spiders and everything. But Jane, they both, I thought they were really, really good.
Yeah, I did.
You know?
Really
so anyway, please vote for Jane, everybody.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't think I was going to say that. I thought she might have hated it, but I think she wants to do it. She does. So, yes, if you happen to be voting, vote for Jane.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to say. Now, as well as our petition to get Jane doing more trials, there's another petition that's currently got over 2.7 million signatures. It's calling for a general election, saying Labour have gone back on their promises. It's been signed by the likes of Michael Caine and Elon Musk. I don't know what you think about this, Mariella. I mean, are we ready for another general election? Do we have the energy for it again?
How many people was it?
2.7 million.
Yeah,
so
I'd call it
far.
the masochist charter, really, because, I mean, honestly, I'd rather have every single one of my fingernails pulled off than go through another election campaign. I mean, there was plenty of them this year, weren't there? More than enough, frankly.
But it shows you the level of disappointment that certain people are feeling.
But does it?
Right now.
Because politicians disappoint us all the time. There's no government that comes in and lives up to all the promises that it made. So it sounds to me a little bit, I mean, sorry to go back to Trump, but that sort of disgruntled, I actually really won the election, even when you didn't, sort of thing. I think it says in all the reports that it's a lot of Conservative voters, so obviously they would want a Conservative government. And it just sounds a bit like sour grapes. I mean, it takes so long to get anything done in government, and in fact, that might be something that would be more worth looking at than having another election 5 months after the last one. I mean, it's stupid, isn't it? Actually, what you want is a government to get in, get the work that they want to set about done, and if you don't like it, then vote them out again when the time comes.
But maybe is that the issue? The time, it's 5 years here, it's 3 years in Australia, for instance. Is 5 years almost too long, potentially, then, to have the one party in power?
Well, 3 years.
Yeah, it feels too long, but I agree that, you know, what can you do in 2 or 3 years, because everything takes so long. But if you kind of let a poll dictate things, then what's the point in having elections? Because you could just ask for everything to be re-voted all the time. We live in a constant cycle of people changing. And also, I don't know who else... I mean, I know they've gone back on promises, but I don't know who else What's the better option? Yeah,
Well,
like,
that's the thing. If we go and have another election...
Who are we voting for?
So who we vote... What, we're going to just vote for the next liar that promises everything and doesn't deliver. Because from the time of my childhood, this has been going on. People get voted in and 1 minute's no, Labour are going to come in and change everything. And then within months, everyone's moaning that they don't. Then the Conservatives come and go, we have to clean up what Labour... And I'm... From a child, I'm sick of it.
I think that people aren't held... That politicians aren't held to account enough anymore either. I mean, I think that you can get up, you can make a load of promises, and then you don't fulfil them, but you just sort of move on, and the news agenda moves on because it's so voracious, and we just want, going back to our entertainment point, because I think those two stories really are linked, we just want to be kept entertained and keep it all light, whilst meanwhile, you know, the world's falling to hell in a handcart.
Yeah, but it's like we say, the mechanics of government, everything takes so long for anything to happen. And, you know, when they do come out, we say, we're going to change this, and it sounds great on paper, but we'll not see it come into effect till 2028. I mean, it's always unobtainable
but it's also because it's short-termism, isn't it? I mean, basically, every government just wants to get re-elected as though that is the only marker of success in government. But actually, I think the marker of success in government is if you manage to do something that, you know, irrevocably changes people's lives for the better, and I wish more politicians were dedicated to that and less of them were dedicated to what's going to happen the next election round.
Very true. Work in the moment and get the job done.